And I have to be candid.
This is Frank
You're not
Luntz,
going to like this,
the national
but my
pollster,
goal, my honest goal,
and
was to be
we're
the
about
Secretary
1
of
minute
Agriculture
into
in a Sanders
his remarks
administration.
on Wednesday morning.
Because then I would get to plant the magic trees where all that free crap grows from. So, and I've been reading, because I've been doing these speeches all over Youre, even though this is Wednesday, even though I went to you guys first, okay, everyone, 1, 2, 3. And believe me, I'm anything but perfect. She walked over to me when I walked in, and she says, I'm so happy you're here. You look much thinner in person than you do on television. By the way, thank God for Fox News. I used to work for MSNBC, the only news network with more letters in its name than viewers. So I told that joke live on Chris Matthews, and I was fired the next day, but I have to tell you, it was worth it. And I get myself into trouble very often. I actually was. Obviously, Donald Trump is the nominee, and I was a contestant on a show called The Trump Card. And so few people remember it was on Channel 9 in New York, and it was shot at one of his casinos. And there were 180 of us, and I was one of the final 6, and this really did happen. So they've got the first 3 that go up, and then I'm part of the next 3, and the top 3 of those 6 get to go forward. And I started on, this is the only time where I'm not nervous. I genuinely feel, by the way, and you and I have known each other for a while. I saw Lamar Smith out there, I don't know if he's in here now. But I feel so comfortable. I feel so at ease. I feel so welcomed every time I come and I talk to you all. I mean, the members here are very special, but there's one that I always cite when I get a chance to do this, because really, it's because of people like him that I get to do this, that I get to be silly. And I do want you to understand, because I am bipartisan. I have a Run Hillary Run bumper sticker. I just put it on my front bumper. There's one reporter back there who laughed, the other ones are going, we're going to screw him. Now, it's a Jay Leno joke, and I changed it from Clinton to Obama, and I got into so much trouble, so I just put it back to Clinton again. By the way, I forgot to tell you my favorite poll, my favorite statistic of all time. I polled 1,000 women, and I asked them, would you have relations with Bill Clinton if you could? 21% said never again. Keep looking over at those tables, one right there, one right there. See if any of the reporters are laughing. I'm trying so hard, guys. So I'm competing on the Trump card. And they get to the end, and I actually get most of the answers right. So the final question is like the final Jeopardy question. What is the largest mammal that swims? What's the answer? You think it's a whale? I said Ted Kennedy. They threw me off so fast. My dad was so proud of me. So I want to be down there with you. I want to show you stuff. I'm looking at a screen and a projector, and I don't want to personally pay $900 to present. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a few ideas. Some of you may want to take notes. And Judge, I'm going to give this to you when I walk out. Don't let me leave. So this is the language and messaging that you can share with people who are here. I want you to see the words and phrases, but the first thing you need to understand, and then I want to take a couple questions and I don't have to get out. It is not just about policy. It is not just about issues. It is about day-to-day concerns of life. The number one thing that men are concerned about is, will they have enough money? Will they have enough money to retire? Will they have enough money for their families? The number one concern for women is time. How do they get done the things they need to get done without the hassles of life? And by the way, I saw this guy's phone just went off, and he's actually answering it in the middle of my speech. That has never happened to me before in my entire professional life. I will pay $100 for anyone who will take his phone and change the ring to play that funky music, White Boy. They say everything is bigger in Texas. I guess I just got proof right there. So for younger voters, for millennials, that we are very challenged with, for millennials, it's better lifestyle and a better work-life balance. For senior voters, it's about no worries and less hassles. You have to reach people in their day-to-day life. And I'm going to give you an example. Tax policy. Now, when I was thinner and younger, I could do this in one breath. But I'm going to show you how to personalize tax policy. When you wake up in the morning and drink your first cup of coffee, you pay a sales tax. You go out to your garage, you pay an automobile tax. You drive to work, you pay a gas tax. At work, you pay an income tax. You turn on the light, you pay an electricity tax. You flush the toilet, you pay a water tax. You flew here from Texas, you paid an airport tax. You're staying overnight at this hotel, you pay a hotel occupancy tax. You call home on this dude's phone in the middle of a session. You pay a cell phone tax. You get home, you pay a property tax, turn on your TV, you pay a cable tax. Even when you die, you pay a death tax. We are taxed from the moment that we wake up until the moment we go to sleep. Hard-working Texas taxpayers are taxed literally to death, and the Republican Party is going to give them a break. And the other thing is, and I am 90 seconds away from doing 3 or 4 questions, you need to give them a chance to be heard. I know that there's so many politicians up here that may take a question. What they really should be doing is asking questions. Ask voters what they think. Listen to them. She's going like this. Listen, I can't tell, ma'am, if this is listen or you want to blow your brains out. How many of you in this room own a gun? Raise your hands. You, I'm sorry. It's guns. Okay, how many of you in this room have more than 5 guns? Raise your hands. But I can top all of you. In my house in Los Angeles, I have a gun range, a full-length gun range. So, but here's the deal. If you want to come, you can actually use my range. You come out to LA. In 4 years from now, please get me a projector that works. Please get me a microphone that I can be part of you, and don't make me pay for it. Next, you're heckling me. You have what in your backyard? He says he has his gun range and a lot of dead possum is what I expect. Next is stop using the phrase middle class, would you please? Because when you talk about middle class, you're actually playing the same kind of class politics that you don't want from the Democrats. Do you know what's more effective? What is more effective is hardworking taxpayers. Because everyone in this room is a hardworking taxpayer. Now, this one's going to bother you, which is I know that everyone in this room is conservative. But you know, by 2 to 1, Americans want common sense. So why can't you be common sense conservatives? Why is it just basically screaming ideology when I want you to connect to people on their day-to-day lives? And common sense conservative connects people. Next, it is not about the size of government. It is not about a more limited government or a smaller government. Ronald Reagan talked about that in 1980 when he was running for office. Do you realize how long ago that was? Language changes over time. What they want is a more efficient, more effective, more accountable government. More efficient. So just like every hardworking taxpayer, they learn to do more with less. More effective so that they stop doing what doesn't work. And more accountable, which is something that this administration needs to learn about. More accountable so that when you screw up, you are held accountable and you are punished. And we never see that in Washington anymore. So what I want to do, there's one more for you, which is, and these are Elves. Where are my lawyers here? Okay, every lawyer, please stand up. If you're a lawyer, stand up. And now those of you who brought guns with you, have at it. I guess I won't be able to get Judge Carter to fix any more parking tickets for me after that. The public is tired of lawyers, lobbyists, and loopholes. Lawyers, lobbyists, loopholes. And you notice that the words that I use, they have a sound that you can hear. Words don't just have meaning, they have sounds. They connect to people. Like alliteration.
Alliteration, yeah.
Wow, Louis Gohmert speaks English. He has the best barbecue in all of Capitol Hill. So, what questions? I promise you this. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes, well, we've got thousands of Texans in other states don't win them for our nominee. Which state do you recommend that we go to?
Oh, great question. So I spoke to South Carolina yesterday and I told them that they have to come across the border and they all said, no. Okay, I'm allowed one bad joke.
I don't get that.
I don't like being heckled by state number one is Ohio. You're actually in the state. And what I would have recommended and I should have thought about this is, I should have said to you, I'll stay through Sunday. And you're here, you're actually in ground zero. And you should have stayed here over the weekend. You guys could have fanned out over the state. So this is number one. State number two is Pennsylvania. And the reason why is that if you want to be successful, you're going to have to take a state from the Democratic camp. And that is the one that is most likely to go. State number three, of course, is Florida. It's the largest of all the swing states. And it has that great significance. And then state number four, because it's going to be tougher than we realize, is North Carolina. You tell me who wins 3 out of those 4 states, and I tell you who the next president is. Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. Those would be the places that I would go. Next question. Yes, ma'am. What was my second L?
Lobbyists.
Lobbyists, who actually probably paid for this breakfast, so I apologize to them. Next. Yes, sir.
Can Trump win Florida?
Can Trump win Florida? Yes, he can. No, I'm not going to do that. I do not do applause lines. I do jokes to get laughs, but I do not do applause lines because this is very serious. Trump can win Florida. It does not mean he's going to win Florida. And it does not mean he's going to win this election. That the American people are asking you right now, not just to tell them what is wrong with Hillary Clinton. You know that she's got a 54% negative rating right now. She's got a more negative rating than any other Democratic candidate. The worst person before here was John Kerry. And John Kerry's at 38% negative at this point. She's at 54. By the way, does John Kerry look like the tree that threw apples at Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz? I told the Florida, Kerry was doing that speech, and this is when he was deciding whether or not to run in 2008. He was doing this speech, and some kid came up and heckled him, and this did happen. And the kid's yelling and yelling, the cops come, the guy yells out, "Don't taser me, bro." The cop sticks him, tasers him, the guy goes straight down. First person ever electrified from a John Kerry speech. Do you know how Donald Trump wins? Number one, he takes his business experience and applies it to the federal budget. And I say this because we got members here. A line-by-line accounting, as only Donald Trump can do. Amen. And that's how the invoice gets spending. Number two, the discipline and focus that you bring from business. You don't get sidetracked. Politicians tackle 15, 20 different priorities and then none of them get done. A business person, a successful business person is focused, is laser-like. Number three, businessman deals in the real world. Politicians deal in Washington, D.C. By the way, thanks to Congress, you can go anywhere in Washington, D.C. thanks to Congress. Drive 25 miles and you still never leave the scene of the crime. That's two. Get out. Okay, how about this? How about this one? The reason why I love Dick Cheney, and I really do, he could have shot the dog, he could have shot the truck, but he shot the lawyer. And he got the lawyer to apologize for being shot. And I know that you get great applause lines by taking Hillary Clinton apart. But the people who are applauding that are already with you.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I always walk away and someone's mad at me for this. Everyone knows why they're against Hillary Clinton. Not enough people know why they support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what's wrong with the Democrats. Not enough people know what's right with the Republicans. It is so easy to attack. I'm asking you to do something that may not come naturally. Stop attacking and start promoting. Start informing. Start educating. Please. Yes.
Do you think that a Trump presidency will put us in a position where Congress is more comfortable with actually doing things that are good for us and are practical and bring us back to science? Or are they going to continue to be politicians?
Now you know that you're attacking congressmen who are in this room right now. What's your name?
Richard.
Becky, what's your social security number? I'll get it out of her. You know that it will be impossible for Speaker Paul Ryan to work with President Hillary Clinton. Not because of him, but because she won't want to. His convictions, his values, his principles, which you all share, she doesn't. There's no argument there. If you actually want to move things forward, and in some ways, by the way, moving things forward means ending things, simplifying things. You can move forward by saying enough of what we have. And by the way, I really did. I know I just said I love the positive, but I thought Christie gave a great speech. When Bill Clinton was president, he and Newt Gingrich figured out a way to get welfare reform. They figured out a way to balance the budget. They got things done. When Ronald Reagan was president, he figured out a way to cut America's taxes, and even though Tip O'Neill didn't vote for it, they got things done. This president doesn't want to work with Congress from either political party, unless you get someone who will work with Paul Ryan, then you will continue to have this gridlock, but that's up to you. And that's whether you go to those 4 states and whether you try to make a difference. One more and then I gotta go. She's got it right there.
What do we do to get minorities to be a part of this party, of this vote, our way? How do we tell them what's important?
How do you tell who?
Minorities.
Minorities.
And I'm a minority, but I just want to know I'm already here.
Here's my problem with that. And Barack Obama talked about it, but he never actually did it. I don't see you as a minority. I don't see you as a woman. I see you as an American. And I don't want us to play race-based politics. Everything about her is this woman. That she's a woman. Vote for her because she's a woman. I want to say to her, with all due respect, Hillary Clinton, if you're elected, you will not be the first female president. Jimmy Carter was our first female president. Everybody, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.